got an attitude for you to change, or an attitude for you to adopt, is to realize that God is just so good. He is so good to you, even though you are super duper stubborn, even though you are sinful. He is giving you so many blessings. We should be so grateful for what the Lord gives to us. I just about laughed as I was reading, or I didn't just about, I did laugh as I was reading Deuteronomy 9 and seeing what the Lord tells Moses, or what the Lord through Moses tells the Israelites. Look at this right here. He says, "Know therefore," in verse 6, there's the idea of just saying that he is just so good. "Know therefore that the Lord your God is not giving you this good land to possess because of your righteousness. For you are a stubborn people." Oh, I laughed when I read it because he just came right out and said it. I was like, "Hey, listen, guys, you are not earning this one way at all. You are definitely not earning this promised land. You are stubborn people." And he goes through and he reminds them all of the rebellions of the book of Numbers. He reminds them about the golden calf. He reminds them of what they did. And again, he calls them a stubborn people because the God was going to destroy them with this golden calf incident. And he says that Moses said, "I had to pray for Aaron at this time as well," because you remember Aaron the high priest is the one that made this silly golden calf. And he goes through and talks about the other times and places that they had disobeyed the Lord. And I did get this. I'm gonna roll back up there to us being a stubborn people and being so good. But 25 also, even in the midst of us doing our 40 days of prayer and fasting and seeking after Lord, Moses, in one of those times, he said, "I lay prostrate before the Lord for these 40 days and 40 nights. Why? Because the Lord had said he would destroy you." And indeed, that is an example for us to follow as Christians in humility, bringing our ones, bringing the lost to the Lord and saying, "Lord, please save them. Please give me wisdom on how to tell them about you. Let me follow this example. Let us follow this example in praying for 40 days and 40 nights for those that don't know Jesus Christ." You know the stats. 28,000 people live within 5 miles of Central Baptist Church, and the smart statisticians say that 13,000 of those folks have no religious affiliations, which means they're not Christians, means they don't trust in Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior, and that at least 13,000 within 5 miles of our own church, 201 West 4th Street, are going to hell. Let us lay prostrate before the Lord for these 40 days, asking that he would spare them, save them, and help us to share the gospel with them. So, good example for us to follow. Not the point of my video today, though. But let's roll back up here, because um, the Israelites going into the land of Canaan causes an ethical problem for the Christian. And it's one that I think can easily be overcome, but it does bother us. And I think it should, is that God is commanding the Israelites to go in and conquer this nation and destroy this nation, or these nations. And we need to remember that they are ungodly nations. We also need to remember that this was a particular order. So this is not something that needs to be continually followed by other nations or even by Israel themselves, is that they are to go in and exterminate and absolutely do genocide to another people group. No, no, of course not. That's not. But in this particular situation, God told them to do this. Now we get this whole idea that Israel wasn't being used because they were righteous. No, in fact, they were a stubborn people themselves. So they didn't earn the promised land. And then verse 5 of chapter 9, is that the verse? Yeah, chapter 9 is the chapter we're in, says, "Not because of your righteousness or the uprightness of your heart are you going in to possess the land." We have to realize that this judgment that's coming upon the land of Canaan is not because Israel was just this super duper great people, but because of the wickedness of these nations, the Lord your God is driving them out from before you, and that he may confirm the word that the Lord swore to your fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. So the Canaanites were being destroyed because of their wickedness, because of their sin. We have to realize, and if we translate this to all places of all times, this principle is still true. If a nation is wicked, if a nation does things that are against God, then they are going to suffer the consequences of their sin. End of the story, end of the statement. We must be on God's side. God is not seeing what nation he can get on board with. He's saying what nation is going to be obeying the things that I do or the things that I say. So we have to remember that the Canaanites were destroyed because of their wickedness, and that all nations today and of all times, the only way that they could prosper is by them obeying the Lord. But here is the great puzzle, and here's the great conundrum, is that actually all nations are wicked. So what's our hope? How can we be transformed? It's because of the sweet gospel of Jesus Christ, where he did it perfectly. And he took the punishment of all people of all times on himself so that we can earn an eternal kingdom, so that we could inherit an eternal kingdom with the Lord. So let's keep those things in mind, and let's always remember that God is just so good to us, giving us things that we definitely do not deserve. I pray that's been a blessing to you, and I'll see you in the next video.